All right, problem number 1 of this set says, how many numbers between 1 and 100 are the product of two even numbers? Okay, so my hint to you would be to think about the even numbers and recognize that if a number is even, then it has a factor of 2. So every even number is going to look like 2 times n, where n is some whole number. Okay, so so you can use that to help you solve this problem. All right, so here's a solution. You've got two even numbers and you're multiplying them, and you want to find all of the products between 1 and 100. Okay, so you could call one even number 2n, and you could call another even number 2 times m, okay, where both n and m are just whole numbers. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the parity or the even or oddness of n and m are. You can choose 1 and take times 2 and you're going to get an even number. You can choose 17, take it times 2, and you're going to get an even number. Okay, so your even numbers always have a factor of 2 in them. So if you take these two even numbers, 2n times 2m, you get 4 times nm. Okay? So the numbers that we're looking for that are products of two even numbers are going to have a factor of 4 in them. Okay? So let's look at all of the multiples of 4 between 1 and 100. Okay? So let's just start listing them. Let's see, we're going to have 4. That'll be our first number. And then we're going to have the next multiple is 8. And then we're going to have 12 and 16. Okay? So, and we can say dot 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 because we don't want to list out all of them. But let's see if we can find the last number between 1 and 100 that is a product of two even numbers, or that has a factor of 4 in it. Now, you might recognize right away that 100 has a factor of 4 in it, but it's actually asking for the numbers between 1 and 100, not including 1 and 100. So that's a little bit tricky. So actually, the last number that's a product of two even numbers that is actually between 1 and 100 is 96. So I could see a lot of people making that mistake because 100 is not between 1 and 100. Okay, if it had said how many numbers from 1 to 100 inclusive, then it would include 100. But it actually says between. So read carefully, and you sort of have to learn the language of some of these problems that you might see on a math contest. Okay, so now we have a list of numbers, and so how do we count this? How do we figure out how many numbers are in this list? So what we can do is convert this list of numbers into a list of counting numbers, and then it'll be easier to count. And what we'll do is divide all these numbers by 4. Okay, so if we divide all those numbers by 4, then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to, this ends up being 24. Okay, so all we did was divide all of these numbers by 4. So that doesn't change the number of numbers. Okay, so but now we've converted it into a list of counting numbers, and you can see that the number of numbers in this list is 24. So that's our answer. So we found all of the multiples of 4, and all the multiples of 4 are going to be products of two even numbers. So the number of numbers between 1 and 100 that are the product of two even numbers is 24.